what you say about him and John Jones, that's a great rivalry. I think it's the best rivalry by far in combat sports, not even close. And DC even talks about that. He talks about how he goes, I hate the guy, but we do bring big business, and he makes me step my game up, and it's good for the sport. I do think they'll fight again at heavyweight. I think I was on Rogan's show last week, and even Rogan thinks they're going to fight at heavyweight. So I believe that. Rogan believes that. It just makes so much sense on so many levels. But what's interesting is DC's wife won't even say John's name. And the interviewer's like, I think it's Ariel. The interviewer's like, you won't even say his name? She goes, no, I refuse to. He's just such a bad person.
Oh, wow.
I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. Touche. All right, girl. That makes sense. If that's how you feel. But yeah, I was thinking about that rivalry. It's by far the best. Straight up real. There's nothing better. And I don't know if anyone's seen the whole clip, but it's after they get in that scuffle, right? And then remember that? And they both got, they were going to spend them. And it was like in the lobby of MGM Grand. And I remember that little dude was like holding like this Schaller.
The UFC like PR guy.
Schaller, right?
Yeah.
And so he was all freaking out. And then they do an interview, but they're waiting to go on, and they're still both mic'd up, and they know each other listening. And man, you get chills when DC goes, man, I wish they'd let me over there. I'd spit in your face. And you see John goes, if you spit in my face, I will kill you. But like, you people like, you hear people like, even when Mike Tyson's like, I'll fucking kill you. You're like, you're not killing one. Watch that when John goes, if you come over and spit in my face, I will fucking kill you. You're like, yeah, he'll definitely kill him. Yeah, he would 100% kill him. Yeah, he will definitely do that to him. You watch it like, holy fuck. And they keep going, but they don't play the whole audible. It's great, man. Because John's like, man, how much you making? Like, he's clowning him for working UFC tonight. He's like, how much you making? Man, you gotta do that bullshit. John definitely wins the battle for like with the shit talking. And my favorite about John talking shit is it's like, he's not a very creative guy. Like, it's not witty like a Conor McGregor or, a Colby Covington or Chael Sonnen. I mean, what he said, it's like, that's word. Like, that's it, dude. And it's so scary.
He goes for the kill immediately.
Oh, dude. You should, like, DC, you can tell DC's like trying to figure out how to go over there. He's like, man, I wish they'd fucking let me out of here so I'd go over there and spit in your fucking face. And John's like, you got to see his face. He has this big beard at the time. He goes, if you spit in my face, I'll kill you. You're just like, oh, please don't spit in his face, DC. I love that. Yeah, those two, they need each other, man. You need each other. You need that adversary. Both of them need that. Think if there's no John, obviously DC would be running everything, but there's no really competition for him. And vice versa, even though John's beat him twice, it's still kind of, he had Gustafsson, but other than that, they're nothing. These guys are just destroying everybody. Jose Aldo was one of the best 145ers of all time, but no one gave a fuck till Conor McGregor came along. You need these rivalries, man. You have to have them, especially in boxing, especially in MMA. That is the best rivalry of all time. The UFC's going to pay him. They're going to fork up. No matter what happens, I think you see John and DC fight again. And I think the only way it gets even close for DC is if it's at heavyweight.
It's fresh that way too.
Yeah, DC's 0 for 2, It's tough to watch DC lose that fight. And he's like, and they go, what happened for me? He's like, even DC, he's been a competitor for so long. He's like, it's really not a rivalry. I've lost twice now, man. Like, it's not, doesn't make sense. Like, it's over, dude. But then John obviously has the Pico thing, and then they're like, but wait a second. I'm like, all right, I guess that gives us more rope. DC has his hands full this weekend against Stipe. I watched that fight twice this weekend. I watched it yesterday during the day it was on ESPN. I watched it there, and I watched it before I did Rogan's show. I mean, that wasn't like a landslide at all. You see the knockout, be like, oh, they're going at it. Yeah. And if Stipe didn't get clipped, my whole, I mean, Luke Thomas is flying in, I think, tomorrow, and we're going to sit down and do like a in-depth breakdown of it. So I'm not going to get too balls deep into it on here. But so I'll save it for that. But I do think, man, I don't know what the odds are. And even though I love DC, he's literally one of my favorite human beings on this earth and one of the greatest fighters of all time. It's not a bad idea to bet on Stipe as a dog. to make money. If let's say no skin in the game, like you don't know either guy and just like, oh, who should I bet on? Even plus 120 is not that great of money. So you might want to stay away from it. But all these, this is a good card to make some money on. Just because you got the main event, DC, Stipe 2, it's minus 140, plus 120. Those odds that close are basically even money in fighting. It's basically like the odds maker's like, I don't know, dude. Then you got Derek Brunson. What's his name? Heinisch? Heinisch. Minus 55, plus 35. Not bad. Pettis Diaz, they literally they're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Like we have no idea what's going to happen. I don't either. I really don't. Because here's the question mark. So you got Stipe, who's had a year off. Stipe's had a year off. And on the E6, or no, they did like a little breakdown, like behind the scenes on DC and Stipe, like, you know, their version of like a countdown on ESPN. They're not very good. Whatever. How do I want to say this? Does Stipe not seem a little punchy?
I've been feeling that way for a long time. Just even before,
remember, I used to train with Stipe before he just signed with the UFC. He trained with us for like, I don't know, a year and some change. Been around the guy, man.
Yeah.
I watched this thing where he's like visiting the Cleveland Indians camp. I'm just like,
you know, they subtitle him a lot on stuff. Was his speech? Is it kind of odd in the beginning, anyways, when you first met him? So yeah, he definitely has.
I watch. I'm like, oh, there's definitely some massive brain trauma there.
I can't understand a lot of what he's saying.
Yeah, bad. But then remember his wars with JDS. Yeah. And then Francis Ngannou landed some huge shots.
Overeem rocked him in their fight.
Oh, yeah.
He came back to lay out Overeem, but he got rocked. He gets rocked in almost all of his fights.
He has a granite chin, man.
Yeah.
And then DC says, hold my fucking chicken wing. Knocks him out. DC loves chicken wings. That's not a racist
It's
comment.
true. He loves Popeyes.
Yeah, he loves Popeyes. That wasn't a racist comment. No. I watched Stipe and I'm like, am I the only one that sees this guy super punchy? Did you see him on my favorite morning show is Get Up? I love Greenberg. Mike Greenberg is my favorite kind of ESPN personality. Mm-hmm. And the black girl who does college football. Jesus Christ, she's hot. Well, anyway, but Greenberg's on there with Stipe, and you just watch it, and he's like, they're just trying to get stuff out of him, and then there's like, oh, you're a man of few words. Stipe's like, yeah. I'm just like, what is going on here? I'm sure people have brought it up. Yeah. I watch. I'm like, oh, dude, he's super punchy a little bit.
This is Stefan Struve because I didn't see this record on Stipe's on his Wikipedia.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's on there for sure. Yeah. That was it was an inside leg kick, and he goes check it, and then Struve knocked him out. Mm-hmm. But he's been in some wars, man. Some straight up wars, dude. Wars. The Mark Hunt fight, he just beat the piss out of Mark Hunt. Orlovsky, Verdun was a quick one. Alistair Overeem, he gets rocked. That JDS, the split decision loss, was a rough one. That France one was so impressive what he did there, but definitely got rocked. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm sure the MMA media will run with this. Oh, Schaub calls fucking Stipe punchy. No. It looks like there's some sort of brain trauma there.
No, and UFC does subtitle him when he talks. I mean, people do subtitle him when he talks on interviews sometimes. Oh, not interviews, but, segments.
Do you know another English-speaking fighter they subtitle?
Not really.
They don't even subtitle the Diaz brothers. Okay? Yeah. But again, if you go back to the card, Chin, I think there's some question marks on these fights, and that's why the odds are so close, because there's such a toss-up. Stipe's had a year off, man. That's a long freaking time not to compete at that level. And then it's just, he's at the stage of his career where he can do it and he's earned that right. But it's like going from preseason to the Super Bowl, nothing in between. The straight up Super Bowl. You're fighting Daniel Cormier, the biggest star in the UFC, 0 to 100. It's go time. The last time you fought, you got knocked out in the first round. It's been a long time since he's been in there, so that makes sense why he's an underdog. And then Nate Diaz, last time he fought. Good opponent, though, with Anthony Pettis, even though Pettis is a fucking monster. Yeah, the whole card, man, tough to be. There's not one fight where I'm like, oh, this guy will for sure win. There's not one. Paulo Costa, Yoel Romero. We'll find out what Paulo Costa's made of.
Yeah.
But I have no idea. When's the age going to catch up with homeboy? Then another card fight you got on there, Corey Sandhagen versus Rafael Sanso. That's a great fight. Corey Sandhagen, Aurora, A-Town, prodigy, product out of high altitude martial arts, straight up wizard ninja. One of Christian Allen, Cody Donovan's proteges. Great card though. These other cards have been bullshit. I said this on Rogan. They've just been feeding us fucking gunk. People are like, oh, you're such a hater on the UFC. You're telling me that's a legit card? Get the fuck out of my grill, man. Get out of my grill. I saw Ozdemir versus Latifi. That was fun.
Yeah.
Ozdemir needed a week. You could tell him he knew his career was on the line. He looked good, man. Phenomenal striking, takedown defense. Hidalgo, who was a jiu-jitsu wizard, got a submission win. That was cool. Didn't see Mike Perry. Just had people text me about Mike Perry's nose.
Damn.
It's actually a pretty good fight.
Was it a good fight?
Yeah, he actually fought pretty technical for Mike Perry.
Yeah.
You know, he fought
Controlled chaos.
controlled, crisp. I mean, he was still throwing haymakers, but like in a very calculated
He's
way.
fun to watch, man.
But yeah, dude, that knee.
Was it a knee?
It was a knee that put him down, and then
It was the knee that did the nose?
it was a knee that got the nose.
It would
and,
have to be.
And then Vicente Luque put him in like an arm-in guillotine at the very end, just kind of held him there till the end. But he squeezed, and just blood started to come out of his face, like as he was squeezing at Mike Perry's
That
face.
sounds pretty cool. And then in the main event, Shevchenko via decision. No shit. She just pick her apart or what?
Yeah, it was very, it was lackluster. There wasn't much action.
I really want. They won't release it. Did 60,000 people see this? Like straight up watch on ESPN Plus? Maybe
It'd be interesting to find out this one.
the past few, dude.
The last one. That's a shocker.
What do you mean, shocker?
Colby Covington and Lawler. It was on ESPN too. It's like the lowest ever of all the ESPN cards.
Their lowest gate too,
Wow.
as far as like ticket sales. And then, you guys know this, man. I love the UFC. I love mixed martial arts. I love the UFC, man. But it's like I was having this talk with my boy Todd. He's an agent at CA, and he loves the UFC, and he just goes, because we usually always talk fights, and he's just like, man, I don't know. It's kind of just losing its kind of luster. Like it's just went to ESPN. He goes, I don't know. I don't care anymore. I find myself similar boat. I just like this fight coming up. I didn't give a fuck, dude. I watched preseason football over this. Like I watched the third stringers. Probably aren't gonna make the team, but I'm like, yeah, let's see if we can find a gem here. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a hater at all. There's some like this weekend. I absolutely love them. I'll have them on in the green room legally, and when I'm in Portland. Wink, wink. So I'll definitely watch those because I'm interested in the 3 fights on this card. But you go through the fight. The only fight that I'm like, I can't wait to see would be Stylebender versus Whitaker. That's like one where I'm like, oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no, other than that, there's not like, there's nothing that blow. Like I'm like, oh, I would pay $100 to watch that. There's not one fight, man. John DC, I would. Khabib Poirier be good. Tony Ferguson, Khabib. There's only a handful of fights that gets my dick hard. There's nothing for Amanda Nunes. What's she gonna do now? Cyborg's out. They're gonna try to figure out the deal, but Cyborg's probably out. I don't know, man.